All right, guys, we're back in the CJ4 again. This is the same one. Really nice airplane. Getting ready to go back to Monroe. We're positioning tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to Bozeman. My hope is to bring you along with all the flights. Pardon the noise. I got a GPU hooked up. That's what's making all the noise, giving us power on the ground. Anyways, I want to show you the baggage compartment. The CJ4's got a huge baggage compartment. Look at that. This thing's huge. So big, you got to have a pole just to grab the bags that are way up in there. Holds 700 pounds. Holds 600 pounds. All right, guys, we got a problem. It started raining and the temperature is -1 like you saw. So we got to go out and feel the wing, make sure that none of this is sticking, make sure we aren't going to need to de-ice. Shouldn't be a problem. The rules say you have to do a tactile check, hand on the wing, 5 minutes before departure. I'm going to do it now to get a feel for it, and then I'll do it again right before we go. All liquid. All right, everybody, trying to get out before some freezing rain gets here, so just kind of bringing you along quickly here.
Autopilot.
Adams Ground, 4 Flight 471, PDC 1021, signature ready to taxi with Victor.
4 Flight 471, Adams Ground, runway 36, taxi via Alpha.
36 via Alpha, 4 Flight 471. All right.
Brickyard 4579, say braking action when able.
All right, exterior lights are as required. Brakes are checked. Nozzle steering's checked. Flight instruments, airspeed 0, 1, 2, 3 times. Attitude's up and erect. FMS, arrows pointing left. Taxi checks are complete. Before takeoff, ice protection. System checks, we'll check them at the end. Rudder bias checks. Good on the left. And good on the right. Seats upright outboard, flap set, 15 for takeoff, indicating 15. Trims, 1, 2, 3 times. Crew briefing, left seat takeoff, aiming below 70 on board. Stop straight ahead on the runway. After V1, we'll take the prop into the air, come back here on a long runway for any emergencies. TCAS is TARA, go around buttons pushed, battery amps are below 20.
45471, Adams Tower, would you like 4 left?
We'll just stick with 36. That's what we've got in the numbers for now.
4 Flight 471, roger, runway 36, clear for takeoff. Turn right, heading 080.
Clear for takeoff, runway 36, right turn heading 080, 4 Flight 471. All right, we are cleared for takeoff. Before takeoffs are complete, finals clear. That is 36, heading mode, and here we go. Takeoff thrust set and achieved. 2 good engines, airspeed's alive. Cross check at 60. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. V2 plus 10, no failure. We're back to climb thrust. Flaps are up. Yacht amps engaged, and we'll turn to our heading.
Flight 471, contact departure, long.
Over to departure, 4 Flight 471, good day. Departure, 4 Flight 471, 2,200, climbing 4,000, heading 080.
4 Flight 471, little departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000 to direct destination.
Climb maintain 15,000, direct destination, 4 Flight 471.
Right. Matter, Mike, contact.
15,000 is set. Right direct, Monroe, select nav. Nav is captured. And we'll go flight level change at 240 knots. Get the radar running here. And overlay it. This has automatic radar, which is spectacular. I'll explain it shortly. After takeoffs, gears up, flaps are up, throttles are climbed, yaw damp's engaged. Ice protection is all on, it is required. Passenger lights are as required. Exterior lights can go to pulse. Pressurization's building a differential. Altimeters will get them at the transition after takeoffs are complete. And I'm going to go autopilot on so I can take a look at some weather. Autopilot is confirmed engaged on the scoreboard.
Precipitation beginning at 4 miles, 12 o'clock, about 5 miles in diameter, and then there's a break with another area of light precipitation beginning in about 15 miles.
4 flight 471, roger. Request right deviations.
4 flight 471, deviations right of course approved. When able, proceed direct destination and advise.
Right of course approved. When able, direct destination. We'll let you know. 4 flight 471. All right, so our radar's up and running here. You can see an area of precip here. It is really cold. It's the RAM air temperature is 9, so we're technically in icing conditions. Got some precip on the window. I just want to make sure we avoid this heavier precipitation up in front of us here.
4 flight 471, the area of a moderate precipitation between 12 and 1 o'clock, beginning in 15 miles, about 6 miles in diameter.
4 flight 471, roger. Thank you.
4 flight 471, contact Memphis Center 135.87. Good day.
3587, 4 flight 471, good day. Memphis Center, 4 flight 471, 1000, climbing 15,000. We're deviating for weather and Monroe when able.
4 flight 471, Memphis Center, roger, climbing team flight level 210.
Flight level 210, 4 flight 471.
And 4 flight 471, just be advised, scattered areas of moderate and heavy precipitation extending all the way to Monroe.
4 flight 471, roger. All right, 210 set and seen. I see the radar here, so we are avoiding that. As you can see, we're going to kind of skirt around it. May come a little bit more to the right, we'll see. All our ice protection's working good. I'm going to, on the co-pilot's MFD, I'm going to put up the XM.
Radar 4814 out as the previous controller told
so
you
that I can see it here.
Areas of moderate precipitation, 12 o'clock, 30 miles extending all the way to Jackson. Control aircraft to fire up at 2125, King Air 45 miles east of Nashville, reported light ram icing at
coming a little more to the right.
-1.
I didn't listen to that because we're not that close to where that PIREP was, and it's pretty obvious we're icing conditions everywhere. We are getting ice. The windshield's heated, but I can see in the corner, looks like a little bit of light rime icing so far. Wings are clear. Looks like we're getting ready to break out on top of this stuff as well. And now I'm going to zoom our radar out, as you can see there. And the radar will start taking a better look. I'm going to look more into the distance than we currently are. Getting ready to break out on top. So I've got the old sunglasses on. Alright, I think we can go direct to Monroe. So down here I'm going to hit direct, Monroe, execute. I'll come up and select nav, and what a gorgeous view out there. Memphis Center, 4 flight 471, we're turning direct to Monroe. Tops are flight level 180 and light rime in the climb.
4 flight 471, roger. What altitudes for that rime ice at?
Pretty much all the way up we saw it. I'd say all the way from probably 3,000 up to flight level 180.
All right, roger. And the temperature?
Current temperature is -9. It's been pretty steady most of the way up.
Roger, thank you.
There we go, flight level 180, we can go to standard, so I'll push it there on the PFD, there on the center, and there on the co-pilot's PFD. So we are standards 1, 2, 3 times across. And we're clear. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the wing anti-ice and the tail anti-ice. We're going engine only. All right, so this is a really short flight, so I've got a lot to do. So I'm going to go ahead and build us a top of descent. I'm going to put Monroe's elevation is 70 feet, so I'm going to put 1,500 feet above that, 1,570, which is turbojet pattern altitude. At Monroe, execute. That gives me a top of descent for now, 1,000 to go in the climb. And then I will start looking at some weather and approaches at Monroe.
Monroe Tower formation X-ray 2053 Zulu, wind 360 at 7, visibility 6, light rain mist, ceiling 800 broken, 1,200 overcast, temperature 2, dew point 1, altimeter 3031. RNAV runway 4 approach in use. Use caution bird activity in the vicinity of the airport. Hazardous weather information available on flight service frequencies. Notices air emissions, ILS runway 4 unserviceable, runway 4 PAPI unserviceable, radio altimeter unreliable, runway 1432 at the intersection of runway 422 regular service, runway 14 PAPI out of service. Arrivals outside 20 miles, contact approach on 126.9er, arrivals within 20 miles, contact approach on 118.15. Advise on initial contact, you have information X-ray.
All right, there we go, information X-ray. 6 mile visibility, light rain, mist, 800 broken. And yeah, we're doing the RNAV runway 4. So I'm gonna come down here and load that. First I'm gonna check it out on the tablet.
Meter 4814, contact Jackson approach 125.25.
All right, I'll go to depart arrive. Since this is a short flight, we're still within the distance to Little Rock that it's showing me Little Rock, so I push it again. I can select Monroe, arrivals, RNAV runway 4. And we should get vectors, so I'm going to leave it at that. WAS LPV, that is correct. Legs. It's telling me check flight plan altitude because I have the destination lower than the initial approach fix there. So what I'll do is I'll do 2,000, put it up there, and that will resolve that. You can see our top of descent marker right there. That tells us when and where we need to go. Down. All right. Cougar at or above 2,000. Flat slope intercepts Cagnew at or above 1,500. Coming down, we do not need Ugoxie.
4 flight 471, just be advised, I am showing an embedded area of heavy precip at your 12 o'clock 10 miles extending to the southeast.
4 flight 471, roger. I think we're going to be good with our current heading. We've got it on radar and visually. Just in case, can we just go ahead and ask for right deviations as necessary?
Yeah, 4 flight 471, deviation still through direct Monroe enable.
On my second screen over here, or I guess technically like my third screen, the co-pilot's MFD, I'm setting up this approach chart. There we go. We're looking good. I'll go back direct Monroe. Nav. And active on the scoreboard there.
4 flight 471, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 13,000, the Monroe altimeter 3031.
Discretion to 13,000 and 3031, 4 flight 471. So I'll preset that. 3031 and 13,000 is set and seen. And now, actually, now that we're around that little cell, I'm gonna have to come a little more to the left. There's a band of weather up here. You can see it on the radar here, and I see it up in front of us, and I don't really like the way it looks up in front of me, so I'm not going through it. Doesn't look too bad on the radar, but out the window, I can tell it's got a lot of precip in it. It's pretty dark. Not something that I'm gonna mess with. All right, descent checks, landing field elevations confirmed, ice protections are as required. Altimeters, we've got them, we'll preset them shortly. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just switch them now.
Ocean 110, cleared green recovery, McCain, altimeter 3026.
All right, I put VNAV back on. I've talked about this in one of the Citation M2 videos. When I switch the altimeter, it's 3031, so that's a big difference between 29 or 9 or 2. So what I did is I disabled VNAV, switched it, then went VNAV direct back to this point. Otherwise, it would be a very big jump up or down in the CJ4. So that's why I do it, and that's why it's nice and smooth. So 3031 set 1, 2, 3 times. Exterior lights are pulse, and we'll do some landing data. So go down here to perf, approach. Runway 4 is preloaded because I loaded the approach. 360 at 7. Temperature is 2. Light rain, so we'll make it a wet runway. Once again, we'll get the supplemental data. We need 3,420. We've got 7,504. VREF is 109. VAP is 116. And actually, I'm going to recalculate that with ATIS on 3420, and I'm going to go ahead and factor this too. So factored 1.67 factors applied, and anti-ice on. We need 5,712. We've got 7,504, still good. So I'm gonna send speeds. Speed send in progress, done. Refs menu up here, and then now I can look, they're there, and my minimums are still there. So I can turn the refs off. Center the heading bug, and landing perf is complete.
45471, contact Monroe approach 126.9er.
26.9er, 45471, good day.
Okay.
All right, and I see on the approach chart, that's my last frequency, so now I'll also preload tower in there, and we'll check in with the ATIS. Monroe approach, 45471, 15,000 descending 13,000, and we have information X-ray.
45471, Monroe approach, turn 10 degrees right, swim post discretion, maintain 4,000.
10 to the right, and discretion 4,000, 45471. And I'm going to go and take away, I'm going to load this approach basically at vectors to final, so I'm going to take Monroe out of here, so we'll lose VPath eventually. So I'm going to go vertical speed, VNav is off for now, CAGNU, and I'll put it where Monroe is. Intercept course is 042, that's what I see on the plate, so I'll make that big, and that basically extends the center line. It's the equivalent of hitting it's the equivalent of hitting activate vectors to final on the Garmin. And approach 45471. Can we come a little bit further to the right? We're showing a little area of moderate precip in this stuff ahead of us.
45471, roger, right deviations approved.
Right deviations approved, 45471. We're going to go all the way around that until we get through it. We do have light rain on the windshield here. And the rat is 14, so we'll turn the anti-ice off for now. We'll just monitor it. Usually in the south there's a temperature inversion, so it could be, could get cooler as we get lower.
Four 45471, maintain 2,000.
Descend to maintain 2,000, 45471. 2,000 set, seen. We'll go vertical speed, 1,000 feet a minute. I'm going to sneak out the speed brakes just a little bit. CJ4 has a variable speed brake lever, so I can just barely put them out and nobody can really tell except for me.
Altitude.
There we go, we're below 200, which is our flap speed, so I'll go flaps 15, selected, and they're in motion and indicating, and now I'll bring the speed brakes in. And nobody is any the wiser. I don't hardly ever use the speed brakes in the other CJs, but the 4 has a lot of weight and momentum behind it, and it's got a swept wing, so you kind of have to use them a little bit on the 4. Our ram air temperature has dropped.
471, 5 miles from Cagny, turn left heading 070, maintain 2,017, final push course cleared, RNF, runway 4 approach.
Left turn heading 070, 2,000 till established, cleared for the RNAV runway 4, flight 471. All right, 270 is set. The ram air did come down. We slowed down and it cooled down with that inversion, so I've got all the anti-ice on now. Alright, approach is armed, and we have to arm VNav in the pro line in order to capture the glide slope. So I'm scanning out, I don't see anything ahead of us that I'm worried about, so I can go ahead and turn the radar off. And I'll zoom in so we can see the approach a little better. Alright, glide path's alive, 1 dot above.
45471.
It's captured, gear down. Over to tower, 4 flight 471, good night. Alright, 3 green, no red. We're slowing, we can go over to tower. Monroe Tower, 4 flight 471 on air runway 4.
Speed checks, flaps full.
Monroe Tower, wind 030 at 8, runway 4, clear to land.
Runway 4, clear to land, 4 flight 471.
Alright, glide path's captured. We're slowing. Flaps are 35, gears down. We'll do before landing checks. 3 green, no red. Flaps are 35. Speed brakes are 0%. Airspeeds are posted. Autopilot and yaw amp to go.
Autopilot.
Autopilot's away. We'll hand fly this one. Alright, outer marker. There's the final approach fix. Winds are shifted just a little bit, so we're following the flight director and recentering the needle. Just barely off to the left. It is just a little too far, so we're correcting back to the right now. We'll get it locked in shortly. Ground contact. Alright, we've got ground contact. The airport is not in sight. Alright, approach lights are in sight at 700 feet.
500.
Continue. 3 green, no red. Flaps are full. We're clear to land. Yacht amps away before landing checks are complete.
Minimums.
Continue. 3 green, no red. Touch high, we're correcting. Power's tidal, we're on speed, a little bit of right rudder. Look all the way at the end of the runway, and there we go, we're down. And ground spoilers are extended. Brakes are good.
For flight 471, did you call the base and did you get any icing on finals?
I'd say maybe trace rhyme. We didn't really see much icing. And bases, we saw the runway approach lights in sight at 700 MSL. Ground contact maybe 100 or 200 feet before that.
For flight 471, roger, thank you. Turn left on Charlie 1 and contact ground.
Charlie 1 over to ground, 4 flight 471. All right, guys, sorry about that. I kind of left you hanging there. Anyways, we're in the car. We're on the way to the hotel. It was raining. I didn't want to keep the line guys out there very long, and really, I didn't want to stay in the rain either. So sorry for not giving you a proper ending there. We're going to overnight in Monroe. Then tomorrow we are on the way to Bozeman. So stay tuned for part 2, where we take this CJ4 to Bozeman. See y'all later.